Hello, club members. So, welcome to part one of a new mini album series that I'm doing just for our club members. Now, if you watched the last video already, you know that I mentioned that we'll be doing a different kind of little album, mini album. And this is something that I saw on Pinterest, but I also saw, got some ideas from Amber, who is Lyric Lover here on YouTube. So, we're going to be using this lovely Parisian paper. I have been hoarding this paper forever, and I decided, I can't be hoarding. I got too much stuff to hoard. So let me just go through the paper right quick. So this is the front, but I love how they do the front cover because they added cut aparts and things on the back. And even though this says like a little lovey kind of thing, be mine or whatever, we're gonna turn it into something that's quite not. So that's this side, and then here's this side. I love this. It's just beautiful. And I thought these would make perfect little corner pockets. And then this side. And then we have like the pink fleur-de-lis. Love this polka dots. And now that's the back side. Now that's kind of, we can juice that up a little bit. Then I love these gray flowers. Then we got the pink on the back. So we probably will just cut that out, but have line side, and then we have this. And then we have this little check diamond pattern, and then the polka dots, which I love. And then some more of this, but on the back side it's cut aparts. We'll probably use these cut aparts. Then we have this pink striped and the pink roses on the back. Love this music sheet. I always love music paper. And then that on the back. Then we have the gray, pink, and black stripes with the fleur-de-lis on the back. And then this is stickers. Whole page of stickers. So we are going to be using this paper pad. Now we're going to put that to the side. We're going to start making our binding. And I kind of got a little head start, a little bit of this. Now, this is going to be a 4x6 album. And you should be able to cover your paper with a sheet of 8.5 by 11. Now, usually I like to leave an inch on the sides, but I'm not going to be able to get a whole inch here. But I think this is going to work out fine. Now, let's look at what we're going to do to prep. So I only have lightweight chipboard in here. I'm out of heavy medium weight chipboard, but Miss Edith from Scrapbooking with Me is sending me some. So we're going to put that to the side for a second. Now what I do is to get my line and line up my paper here, where I go, I'm going to go to the bottom down here, and I'm going to measure an inch up. And then I'm going to take my pencil and draw a little line here. Now usually I do this, and then I do an inch on the side, draw the line, and then where the corner meets is where I would like stick my chipboard in. But I don't have enough room to do an inch, and I just want to do one page. But what we are going to do is we're going to take our first piece of chipboard and lay it down on that line. This is going to get us a good, making sure everything is even. Then I'm going to lay the middle piece down. And you're always going to want to save room in between so that you can have room in your book to close. And I think I'm just going to scoot this over just a little bit. But as long as you have everything lined up on this line, your chipboard will be even. Now that's the most important part of anything we do is to get your chipboard even. Now let me tell you the dimensions. So this piece is 4x6. This is 4x6. And this is 1.5 by 6. Okay, that's our measurements. Turn around this way so you can see it. 4x6, 1.5 by 6, and 4x6. This has just a little bit different binding on it than most mini albums do. And I need to turn this back around. So I am going to lay my first piece down first, and I'm going to be using some tacky glue. Normally I would use tape, but my 1-inch tape is running thin, and I don't think I have enough to do the whole book. So I'm just going to use glue, and glue will work just fine. You use whatever you have. And to be honest, wet glue lasts a lot longer than the tape does. Because if you think about Scotch tape, and I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I always used to put these tape books together, you know, cut pictures out of magazines and make little books, stuff like that. And they fell apart because the tape dry rotted and so forth, you know. So all I'm going to do is come over here just a little ways. I'm going to line that up on the line. Maybe squish it over just a little bit more. Make sure I'm on that line. And glue it down. Okay. This needs to come out a little better. I left my pen out for a while. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to do about 1/8 of an inch. Now, if you have a hard time doing that, take your chipboard, put it up right up against that. And matter of fact, I think I'm going to double it up. Right up there. And then line that up. And that'll give you the perfect spacing that you need. So let me put the glue on it. Whoops. And not on me. Okay, so I'm going to put my chipboard up here. And I'm going to go to this line. I'm going to lay it down. Make sure it's nice and even. Push it up against that. See, that's a little bit off there. There. Make sure that everything is even all the way across. This is another reason I like to use wet glue. It's because until it dries, it's movable. Okay, but see, we're all lined top to bottom. This is what needs to be lined up. Okay. Glue this one side down. Now, honestly, I think with this paper pad, I could probably get 2 albums out of it. Now, I'm just going to line this up with the bottom and do my best eyeballing the length. And that looks pretty good right there. Yep. Bring this down just a wee bit and bring it over just a wee bit. Okay. Now, we're going to flip this over. And where's my flat little bone folder? Right here. We're going to flip that over, and we're just going to go over really well on this side as well, because we want to make sure that glue is stuck. And we're not going to try to bend it right now. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my trimmer and I'm going to put my paper in here. Probably should have done this beforehand, but you know. I want to leave at least 1 inch on there, but I want to cut some of it off. So I think this will take about 1/2 inch off here. Let's see. That's exactly 1 inch. Now we're going to fold this all up. And this is what I like to do. I like to take my bone folder and score around the edges of this. This is so easy to do if you get your pages even. You're going to make it easy to do that. I'm just going to go in the middle here and in the middle here. Okay. Now we're going to bend up the paper. And doing this because it will help the paper not crack. Because that's the last thing we want to do is the paper to crack on you and give you a not very nice thing. Now, forgot my scissors. Hang on, guys. Be right back. Gotta grab my scissors. Left them on my kitchen table because I was working in there earlier. Okay, got some skizzers, as my granddaughter would call them, skizzers. Now, I'm really excited about this album, and I'm hoping this turns out. I've never made this, so I'm making it with you guys for the first time. So if I screw up, we'll all screw up. Now, we're going to take this corner. See this right here? This is a lot for the corner. So all I'm going to do is take my chipboard. I'm going to line it up like this. Take my pencil. And that gives a little bit of extra right there. I think I'm going to go a little bit farther out. Triple it. Okay. Oops. Because this is lightweight chipboard, I actually doubled it. So, then we're going to do the same here. Now, you may be asking what I'm doing. I am taking the bulk out of the corners. We want to leave enough paper on there so that our corners are covered up. But, we want to take some of the bulk out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut here on this line. And then I'm going to take what I cut off and glue it onto the corner. Now this will allow, if for some reason it does come off or whatever, all you'll see is paper. Gonna do the same thing on this side. See, it's like this. So you're gonna put it like this because this is how it would fold down. Just the corner of it. Now, you don't have to do this. I'm just doing it to show you an option. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever done this before, but I'm going to try it too. Just to see, and if nothing else, it will definitely give our corner a little extra protection. Give it a little extra strength. It helped if I put my glasses on so I could see what I was doing. Okay. One more. And I am going to put another little bit of glue on here. Don't think enough got right there. There we go. I'm telling y'all, this is the hardest part of this mini album. You were going to be amazed how easy this. Okay, so now we're going to go up to the sides like this. And I do my sides first. So we're going to put some glue here. Make sure you get all the way to the edge and all the way down at the bottom. And if you want to use tear tape, score tape, I mean, you can use that. Pull it tight and press it down. Then we're going to go over to this side. Now, a lot of people ask, why can't you just put your decorative paper on here? And you know what? You can't, but to me, this just looks better. It's more finished, and it actually gives strength to your album. Okay, so now we're going to pull this in on the sides. Now, you see how this paper may stick out? What you can do is take your bone folder, or you can even use your thumbnail. Push that little side in like that. Not like that. We're just going to push this little side in. So it's like you're making a little fold right there. And then we're going to glue it down. Pull it up as tight as you can. I have got glue on my hands and it's getting sticky glue on my paper. If you find this happening, you can take a pencil and erase it. Okay. Now see how the corners are nicely and they're covered. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to take my thumbnail and push that little piece in just like that. And just like this. And then we're going to put glue on the outside. Glue on the closure here. Make sure you get it all really good on the bottom and the top, all the way to the edge. And then we're going to rub this over like this. Use our bone folder to press this down. Then turn it over. I like to do that again. Now, before we fold this up and bend it, we already bent it a little bit. There's our cover right there. Now we're going to cover the inside. Now you can totally skip this step if you want to. I don't want to because it gives the album more stability. So, and I did a little longer lines here because it's going to be quite full when I get through. And I didn't want to have alligator mouth. You know, alligator mouth is when the album stands open like that. So that's your little album cover. Isn't that cute? But what I'm going to do is take another sheet of paper and cover the inside. So we're going to have to cut our paper. And our paper is going to be, we're going to cut, so I'm going to go about 1/8 of an inch down to about 1/8 of an inch. So we're going to cut our paper at like 5 1/2 lengthwise. That's 4. Let's see. Let's do it this way. So that's 10. Almost 10 with the thing there. So let's go over. We're going to do 9 1/2 by 5 1/2. So we want 9 1/2 this way, 5 1/2 this way. So let's do that. Let's find my paper cutter and talk to May today. She's going to send me some blades for my Cricut cutter. And I will still cut like chipboard and some heavy, some papers. It doesn't do good on regular card stock. So we're going to do 5.5. I might have to do it. This paper might not be wide enough. Yeah. Let's do this side first. So we're going to cut this side. What did I say? We're going to do 9.5. Remember, I'm doing this with y'all. So we're going to do 9.5 by 5.5. Okay. So let's do 9.5 first. And then we're going to do, this is what I'm afraid of. I'm going to have to try to cut it with my other cutter. So y'all keep your fingers crossed that it'll cut and not rip. By 5.5. Yay, it cut. Not too sure sometimes. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to place this on here like this. And this is going to cover the inside of our album. It's also going to give us a little bit more stability. You know what? Where's my little... I'm going to put this down here just to keep some stuff from attaching itself to it. Okay. I don't want to get stuff on it, even though we're going to be covering that up. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get my glue, and I'm going to start putting glue on this side. And you want to make sure that you get glue nice in this little crevice right here. You want to fill these crevices up. Okay. So let's get our paper on where we want it and get it started. We're not going to glue it all the way down the first thing. Okay. Take our bone folder. Start pressing that down. Any glue that comes out the edge will be all right. We're going to cover that up, remember. Now we're going to unfold that and we're going to keep gluing. May have to switch over to my other glue if I can't get more out of this bottle. Because I definitely want to get the glue on here. I think a large part of it is my hands. I have a hard time squeezing. But you can always go back through and add glue if you missed an edge or something like that. Okay. I'm just going to take my bone folder and get it all nice. Now we're going to let this dry before we crease it, okay? Because we need to let the glue dry. If we don't, what'll happen is it'll buckle on us and the paper will buckle. And we don't want that at all. Going out to the edges here, just make sure my edges are nice. Okay, we're going to turn it over. Now we're going to start. We're going to put paper on the outside, but we're not necessarily going to start decorating. But because of the binding system, it's necessary to put your paper on first. So I am going to look what I want to put on for a cover. And I probably should have picked this out first, but I didn't. I do like this, but that limits you to put extra embellishments and stuff. I think I'm going to use this polka dot. Now, the way we cut this paper, we have to pay attention to because we're going to be making our inserts with this paper as well. And remember, the inserts are going to be pretty much almost 4x6, not quite 4x6. So I want a little bit of this border to show. And I know that this is 6 inches. And this one is 4 inches. So I'm going to do a slice by 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. Okay. Now the spine is 1.5 inches, so I'm going to do 1 inch and 1 5/8 by 5 3/4. And the same thing over here. It'll be 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut this paper in half at 6 inches. Because I can't do, whoops, we got to cut this off. I can't do it on this little machine, so we're going to keep our fingers crossed that, see, it doesn't trim that great all the time. But if this has a rusted little edge on it, I'm not worried about it, okay? I just forgot to go over it a couple of times, that's all. There we go. Okay, so we know this is 12 by 12, so we're going to do 6. We're going to do our border here, which is 4. No, it's 3 3/4. Okay. Make sure that's lined up. Good. And then we're going to go 5 3/4 for our front. See, now I think I'm going to go, now we'll just do 1/4. We'll do it 1/4. Now this should be the back side, and we should be able to get 5 3/4 off of this. You want to cut your paper to maximize how much paper you have. That's our front and our back cover. Now we're just going to turn the page sideways, and our spine is 1.5 inches, so we're going to back that up, and we're going to do 1 7/8 inch. And I'm just making sure that's lined up perfectly, because I don't want crooked paper on there. And it already slipped. Okay. And we'll still be able to get our page, well, a page or two out of that as well. And then we're going to go 5 3/4 because that's our length. Okay. So we're going to put our covers and stuff on now that this book is, we're drying. We're still drying because I don't want to see any, you know, any ridges. Okay, so this is our corner, our spine piece. And then we have our front cover and our back cover. And I'm going to use my, where's my glue? I am going to use my glue that won't stick my paper, which is my wonderful Fabri-Tac that Miss Nora bought me and gave to me. As soon as I can find it. My table has been messy. I have been really, really busy crafting and getting some things done and set up for you guys and my regular channel and some things I'm in, but I don't know where my, that's weird. I just had it. Okay, guys. I can't put you on pause while we're live, when I'm filming live. But I'm filming live because I don't have my any room on my phone anymore. I don't know what has happened to it. It has gotten really eaten up. I may have put it on my kitchen table when I was crafting the other day. Let me go check and I'll be right back. And I did. It was on my table. Okay. Before we get started, I want to show you something. You see how pointed these are? I am going to unpoint these just a little bit by tapping down. Not enough to make it bend, but just a little bit to round off those little edges. You just want to do it very gently. Okay. Now, see what I mean? I tried to bend it too soon. It's going to bubble up on me. Got to rub that back down. Okay. So now let's put on our glue. I love Fabri-Tac when I'm doing albums because Fabri-Tac is alcohol based. I'm pretty sure I've told y'all all this before. It's alcohol based and it doesn't leave watermarks. So I'm just going to put my glue on. Like I said, if you would like to use tape, feel free. Art glitter glue, whatever you want to use is fine. I just have my preference when it comes to glue for albums. I use Fabri-Tac in all my junk journals and all my altered books. Because I don't like to see that paper bubble up. Now, if you notice, I am taking my bone folder and I'm just, gotta scoot that down just a little bit. Line all that up. And I'm not going to be decorating the covers tonight for our first episode. Whoops. We're just getting the construction done. And this is part of the construction. Okay, we're going to eyeball that. And using your bone folder will spread the glue out to the edges if you didn't get all the way down to the edges. Okay. Now on the inside, see, I didn't use my Fabri-Tac on here, and so we're going to just barely score this down the middle on our score lines. And I think the glue is still a little tacky, but okay, I think we can do it now. Yep. Okay, I'm just gonna rub this down one more time. Okay. So that is the construction of our little album. Now everybody that I've seen do this use twine, and I don't have any pink twine. I am going to use some pink yarn, and I don't know if this will work. And you guys, we're just trying it out. And if it doesn't work, then we'll go back to the drawing board and I'll get some pink twine on the other. I'm going to do episode 2 and we'll redo the spine because it's not hard to redo. And oh, okay. Scissors out here and cut this little knot off. All right, what we're going to do is I'm going to leave this hanging over it just like this, a good little piece of it. And then I'm going to wrap it around my spine. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got crochet needles in here. So we were on 8, right? I'm not cutting it off until I know how much we need. 8. Slide this down just a little bit. We don't want to get them crossed. We just want to slide them down. 9. 10. I'll lay this down just to move these down just a bit. We're going to keep these flat, okay? These are going to be flat. And I'm just scooting them over so we can get as many as we want on here. I think I'm going about 12, maybe 15, I'm not sure. I got crossed over, so I'm going to uncross it. There we go. Why is that like that? There we go. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to slide this down just a wee bit. Keep them slid down a little bit. Still hold on to this lead string. This would be 8, 9, 10. Well, it'll be 10 when I get back around. 10. 11. 12. I think 12 might be enough. Then we're going to bring this back up here at the top. Okay. We're going to cut off enough ends so we can do this. Okay. Let me hold this. I'm going to hold this down. I'm going to use my bone folder. I'll be a bit of scissors. Lift these up. And I'm going to pull this one through. Then I'm going to lift it up again. and pull this one through this way. Making sure it's nice and straight on this side. So let's turn it back over. Making sure all our things are straight. And we're going to spread them back out a little bit. Hold this tight at the top. Then we're going to tie this at the top. I'm going to double knot it so it's nice and tight. You want this to be really nice and tight. Okay. And then I'm just going to tie a little bow for right now. Well, that wasn't a very nice bow. Let's do it again. Make sure that's nice and tight. There we go. Now that is our binding. And we're going to spread this back out a little bit. Now I'm going to show you how we put these things in on the next lesson. But isn't that cute? But this is when we have to do the spine first, because you have to do your binding. I love the way that looks. And you can even go back and add some little hangy things or whatever you want. Okay? So that is tutorial 1. We're already at 40 minutes. And so next time we'll pick it up and do the rest. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial on a mini album done differently. And I look forward to showing part 2 really soon. Bye.